What's going on, everyone? If you have ankylosing spondylitis, you know the added challenges of trying to stay motivated to work out, trying to keep up with the fitness routine when we're dealing with the joint pain, the stiffness, especially in the morning, the fatigue, the flares. It can be very difficult to stay motivated over the years, especially when it can really go up and down a lot of the times with the stiffness and tightness. Sometimes we can feel better, then all of a sudden it can come back on. So it can be very challenging to stay motivated. So what I wanted to share is what really flipped the switch for me, because there's been countless times over the past decade since I was diagnosed with AS where I had no motivation to work out through the sciatica, through the joint pain. I was just too stiff and tight. And what changed for me is first was choosing the right exercises, choosing the right dose of exercise, especially in the beginning. I think over time you can do longer workouts, but in the beginning, you really have to find a shorter routine where you're feeling better. So my goal early on was every time I work out, every time I stretch, I wanted to always feel better. I didn't want to cause more pain, more discomfort. So no matter what I did, I wanted to feel better. So I had to transform the way I thought about my routines. And this really started with shorter routines and combining different things. So not just doing weights, but combining that with stretching, mobility, movement, with the strength training, with the resistance bands. So I was trying to stay loose and strong. So putting it together in a way where I always felt better afterwards. So once I figured that out, once I figured out these shorter workouts are better for me, and then I always felt better afterwards. So when I was really struggling still with sciatica, still with the stiffness and tightness, all I thought about was every time I work out, I feel better, right? 100% of the time, once I found that right dose of exercise, I always feel better. So from that point on, I said, just get started. When I was really feeling crappy, when I was really feeling that sciatica, I said, just get started on that routine that helps me every time. Just get started. Then once I got started, I started to feel a little better, and then I was able to finish the routine. I was able to stick with it. So that's what changed my motivation. Instead of every time I got sciatica or the joint pain came back, I felt sorry for myself. That's what I used to do, and it can be very challenging. But I realized that the workouts, I always feel better. So it can just be a mini workout. Find things that work for you. Also, there's a million ways to work out. If you're trying to get into it and you start running, but your back's hurting after, or you're going for a long walk, but everything just seems to hurt afterwards, change the way you're working out. Maybe do stretching, then a shorter walk, or try resistance machines for strength training to start, or some therapeutic movements like resistance bands and more physical therapy movements to get the body in alignment, to work the posture, to work a little bit of strength. So switch the way you work out if it's not working for you. There's always a better way for all of us working out. There can always be different ways to put it together that's going to work for you, and it's going to be different for everyone. So once you figure that out, hold on to that feeling after you work out. So when you're really struggling, oh, here's the tightness and stiffness again every morning, it keeps coming back. Think about the way you felt after you did that workout and just get started on that routine. And that's what's really helped me. See you next time.